Okay, welcome to the Town Board meeting Thursday, July 15th. Please rise and salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Emergency exits are to my right, behind the town attorney, and also the door you came in. Roll, please.
Supervisor Perotti.
Here.
Councilpersons Doyle. Here. Gutierrez.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
Smoji.
Here.
Okay, public comment. Let's see anyone here.
I have two.
You have two?
I have two.
Okay. Please read them.
This first one is from Leo Blackman. He's unable to appear live this evening, and he has asked that I read the following public comment. This is public information that the town of Amenia is awarded just shy $500,000, $480,000, I think, from the American Rescue Plan. At the town board meeting each year, residents are encouraged to offer ideas for a much smaller community development block grants. What will be the public process for prioritizing the use of this windfall? I trust the first check will be paid to our engineer, Ty and Bond, to start their long-delayed update of the 2012 wastewater study. We need this document to apply for the next round of infrastructure findings. It is also, it must begin now, or we will lose this opportunity. Can you agree? I would also suggest that you put aside funds now for them to develop a master plan to repair our water system. I've read John Andrews' study, and there are many parts that need to be upgraded. A professional should be hired to prioritize what can be done over the several years, rather than throwing all of the ARC money at it. Will you do so? Thank you, Leo Blackman. Our second public comment of the evening comes from Stacy Mansell. Good evening. I recently finished a 16-hour certificate program given by the Cornell and the New York State Board of Health, the New York State Citizens Public Health Leader Program. The aim of this program is to build community-led initiatives, supportive prevention practices, health literacy, detection and response in the event of a public health emergencies. I am happy to share the resources and information I have learned with the town, and any individual is hoping to find answers. I can be reached at ameniastacy@gmail.com, and that's AMENIASTACY@gmail.com. Thank you, Stacy Mansell. So those are your two public comments that I received prior to the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Supervisors report. Lavelle Road Pump House upgrade. Based on engineering reports, we are not looking to upgrade the pump house on Lavelle Road since it is in a wetland, and the current problems would only reoccur. We're looking at alternate sites to put wells in addition to a plan to have the main pump house oversee all the wells. Altice negotiations are in progress. American Rescue Package. Supervisor Perotti, on behalf of the town of Amenia, completed the required forms sent by New York State before the July 9, 2021 deadline to accept the projected $449,344 fund allocation. The town of Amenia has been identified as a NAU, a non-entitlement unit, by the Department of the Treasury. Per the Department of the Treasury, NEUs will receive funds in two 50% payments. The second payment will be sent 12 months after the first. Economic development in downtown Amenia. In the last several months, 9 new businesses have opened, and there will be a 10th when a massage business opens soon. Please stop by and support all the new businesses on East Main Street, Route 44, and in the Fudgies Plaza. Highway Garage. The RFP for engineering services for the Highway Garage will be sent out this week and put on BidNet. CDBG sidewalk grants. The Amenia Post Office area sidewalk project is waiting for the DOT work permit to be approved before businesses affected will be notified about the timeline for the scheduled repairs. Chasen, who won the bid, is working on the survey and plan for the Route 44 sidewalk project. Town of Amenia COVID-19. The Amenia Town Hall is open for business as usual Monday through Friday at regular business hours and is following CDC guidelines, which advise that fully vaccinated people do not need to wear a mask or be socially distanced, but unvaccinated people must continue to wear masks and be socially distanced. Signing the visitor log with contact information is required. COVID-19 vaccine information. Sign up on dutchessny.gov/vaccine-info form or call the Dutchess County Coronavirus Information Line at 845-486-3555. Select option 1 to hear the weekly vaccination allocation updates, then select option 2 to be connected to the Office of the Aging and be added to the notification list. For anyone who is homebound, vaccine appointments can be made at 845-486-2555 to arrange for a vaccine appointment to be administered at home. Town Clerk report.
Good evening. I'm reporting for the Town Clerk's monthly share for the month of June 2021. The total state, county, and local revenues were $564.25. Remitted to the supervisor was $514.25. I share with you this evening that I'm in receipt as of Monday a resignation from Scott Russo. This letter that he has given us is to inform us that he's resigning from his position as the Recreation Chairperson on the Town of Amenia Recreation Committee. Today will be my final meeting and my last day as part of the committee. Respectfully submitted, and that was, his letter is dated July 8th, and we received it on Monday the 12th.
I'll make a motion that we regretfully accept Scott Russo's resignation from the Recreation Commission.
I second, and I also would like to thank Scott for the hours he put in on all the projects he did to try to make recreation better in the town of Amenia.
Agreed.
Supervisor
We
Prodi?
need a second, don't we? Oh, did you second?
made
I
it.
second.
Okay.
You second. Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Samoji? Yes. And with that being said, I just informed the public that in this week's paper, we do have our open positions from our previous meetings have been advertised with applications and or letters of interest due to me by August 4th at noon. Currently open, we have a planning board seat with an unexpired term of 12/2026. We have recreation positions, both for unexpired terms, one ending on 12/2024 and the other being 12/2022. And we are also hiring for the water district treasurer, and that will, it's an unexpired term through the end of the year of 12/21, which is a reappointment each year, because that's the paid position. So those positions have been advertised. I have received applications for planning board and water already. So at our next meeting, I have already started scheduling them to begin at 6:30, and then as we'll continue to schedule as they come in. So if anyone's out there that is watching, is interested in serving as a volunteer here in the town of Amenia or is looking for employment, please feel free to reach out to myself during regular business hours or leave me a message at area code 845-373-8860 or simply email townclerk@ameniany.gov. Share with the board some good news that Victoria and I received earlier this week, that the town of Amenia's LGRMIF grant for conserving and digitalizing all of the early town records has been approved pending final confirmation from the state comptroller's office. So we're going to be working on the next steps to that. So that's definitely makes some folks very happy to see that we're being in the receipt of grant money. I do acknowledge receipt of some of our reports. We're going to begin this evening with our building department report. Katrina did provide that to us back on July 1st. finding that June's monthly report for the building department, as building permits goes, they have issued 22 new building permits totaling $5,644.75. They're continuing with the certificate of occupancy searches, and they had completed 5 for the month totaling $675, and they are also continuing with their fire inspections, where they have completed 6 totaling $300. They've also issued 1 temp permit, which was $375, for building permit renewals in the amount of $1,561, bringing the department's total of $8,555.75. Also included in our packet and distributed was your July zoning reports. Also acknowledging receipt for all of us and the circulations by the town bookkeeper, the operating statement, and your balance sheets of those. And for the final action of me this evening is I am presenting the vouchers dated this week totaling $145,968.82. And as the breakdown is as follows. General fund, $75,321.38. Highway fund, $46,136.95. Amenia lighting, $7,324.78. Wasake lighting, $2,718.19. Amenia water, $14,467.52, again for a total $145,968.82, and I'm seeking authorization for the supervisor to pay claims as being presented.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle,
Yes.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Samoji. And that'll conclude the town clerk's report this evening.
Okay, resolution for transfer of funds. Resolution number?
40.
Whereas the town board has the authority to transfer funds when necessary or unanticipated to amend the budget. Whereas budget amendment in the general fund, increasing expense line 14404.01 engineers by $3,000 and decreasing expense line 16204.01.059 building CE heat by $3,000 for sidewalk costs. Whereas 13554.01.044 assessor CE certificaries, increasing expense line by $1,250 and decreasing expense line 13554.01.63 assessor CE mileage by $800 and decreasing expense line 13554.01.047 assessor CE supplies by $450 for legal cost. Whereas budget amendment in the highway fund, increasing expense line 17104.03 administration contractual highway by $112.50 and decreasing expense line 51424.03 snow removal CE by $112.50 for additional union negotiations. Whereas budget amendment in the highway fund, increasing revenue line 3501.03 state aid chips by $57,029.15 and increasing expense line 51122.03.112 improvements equipment chips by $57,029.15 for additional state CHIPS funding. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board authorizes the transfer of necessary budget lines to process the transactions. I make that motion.
I second it.
Supervisor Perotti,
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle,
Yes.
Gutierrez,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Samoji.
Yes.
Okay, resolution number 41. Megan, would you like to go up to the podium and explain what your plan is?
So we've been having, last fall, we started having problems with our tractor. It's 1988. It's our boom mower, does all the, the high stuff, high brush. We started having problems with that. I put some money into it, we fixed it, and we used it a little bit, and then this spring, we ended up with some antifreeze in the oil. So we have a pinhole somewheres in the block. We've tried pressure testing it. We cannot find where the leak is. So to fix that, and if we fix it, that could be $6,000 to $10,000, and it might not be in the area. That's going in and re-sleeving the piston area. And then you have to buy bigger pistons, so actually it'd be more money than that. But it's not guaranteed. That's where the hole is. So if it's not, then we just wasted money. I don't feel it's a chance we should take. I did look into looking for some used ones. Of course, they want to sell me a new one. Most of them are going to at least start around $130,000. I don't really feel we need to purchase a new one. It's not something we use every day. I did check with Westchester Tractor. They have 3, and they're anywhere from $70,000, and I think it went up to, I think online was $85,000. They're 4-wheel drive, and they're too big. Keel Equipment didn't have any, and again, $130,000 for a new one. Someone told me that town of Beekman bought a new one. They purchased theirs at $130,000. It's an 08. I gave you some pictures of it. It's enclosed cab. Our other one was open cab. And they're looking to get $24,000 out of that. I went and looked at it. It's in good shape. They said mechanically they've had no problems with it. And then capital project line, I have $60,000. Take it out of there. So.
Okay, so that would be resolution number 41. Resolution authorizing the purchase of a tractor with a boom mower for use by the Town of Amenia Highway Department. Whereas the Town of Amenia previously purchased a 1988 Ford 6640 tractor with a boom mower in 1998, whereas the 1998 Ford
1988.
98, there should be 9. 1998 Ford's 6640 tractor has been experiencing significant engine problems and is nearing its end of useful life. Whereas the Town of Amenia Highway Superintendent has recommended the purchase of a used tractor with a boom mower because the cost of purchasing a new tractor is approximately $130,000. Whereas the Highway Superintendent, in accordance with the adopted procurement policy, attempted to obtain quotes for a used tractor with a boom mower from Westchester Tractor and Keel Equipment, and neither had any used tractors with boom mowers available. Whereas the Highway Superintendent has now located and is recommending the purchase of a 2008 John Deere 17-foot boom mower model 5525 from the Town of Beekman in the amount of $24,000, which price includes 2 additional brush heads. Whereas pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 103, and the town's adopted procurement policy, the purchase of secondhand supplies, materials, and equipment from another municipality is exempt from the competitive bidding requirements. Whereas the funds for this purchase will come from the capital project line 51124.3.35, which has an available balance of $60,000. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, the recitations set forth above are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. 2, the highway superintendent is hereby authorized to purchase, in accordance with the provisions of Article 5A of General Municipal Law and the town's procurement policy, the 2008 John Deere 17-foot boom mower model 5525 with 2 additional brush heads as set forth in the annexed proposal from the town of Beekman in the amount of $24,000. 3, the funds for this purchase will be paid from the capital project budget line 51124.3.35. 4, the town of Amenia highway superintendent is authorized to execute any and all documents necessary for the purchase of said items in accordance with the terms of this resolution and the annexed proposal. And I make that motion.
Second.
Supervisor Prodi?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Somogyi?
Town board comments?
Thank you.
I was going to follow up on the skateboard issue. Jim, do you want to relate what you were able to find out today, which is
Well,
more?
it seems that, and I'm really a little bit confused because at one point it seemed to me that if the skateboard instructor was really only getting a stipend, that he didn't really need any insurance
Right.
at all. Now we're told that the skateboard instructor, being neither an employee of the town or a volunteer, would not be covered. The town would be covered, but he would have to get his own policy if he wished to be covered. That's where it seems to be right now, which
That's
is
what
a
I
little
understand.
confusing, I think.
It is confusing. So I had copied and pasted, because this goes way back, lots of little emails with lots of little questions and lots of little responses. But I think, I forwarded you guys all what I think was the definitive answer that answers all of those questions, maybe in a slightly different way. But my understanding is just what you said. The town is covered. If the instructor is being paid out of a stipend, if anybody's an instructor and getting a 1099, that does not include it. But since he's being paid out of a stipend, that would cover us. But it was recommended that the instructor might wish to make sure he has his own general liability. It's him that is the one who's most at risk, right?
I don't know whether Chris, I don't know how much that would cost him. It may be
He doesn't
prohibitive.
have it, and I don't think he intends to get it, but I did send that again to him and copied everybody so that we have some outstanding questions for him to answer for the Byron Barnes's underwriter's comfort level, times, dates, and such. My opinion is, but I respectfully, understand how much work you've done, is that we just go ahead with Byron's understanding and going back and forth with the underwriter, that is what the issue is. And I'm comfortable with that kind of.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion that we authorize the going forward with having the instructor begin his skateboarding program as outlined in the grant application to Berkshire Taconic.
Without him having to get his insurance?
He's going to do whatever he's going to do. If he wants to say no thanks.
Vicki, I'll second, but could I just ask that maybe you add to your motion that he would be doing this as a rec-sponsored activity, as the rec
Yes.
commission has.
Yeah, I thought we already had done that, but yes, if
Okay.
we can make that clear. And we can make it conditional upon him providing the answers I sent to him for the insurance agents, per the insurance agent's request. I CC'd you all, so you all have that language. It's 4 or 5 questions.
Ian, what do you think?
I had specifically asked Byron this question because when it initially came up, as I had indicated to this board, if he's an independent contractor, he needs his own insurance, and the town would be listed as an additional insured on his policy. And there was information that we received that night that Byron said that wasn't the case. And I said, well, that doesn't ring true to me. So I did follow up with Byron. I called him and I asked him, I said, if he's an independent contractor and he's doing this event and he doesn't have insurance, he said, well, then you don't do it. That's what he told me.
Does he have that in writing? Because he's not an independent.
He's not,
He keeps saying if he gets a 1099 from the town is not issuing a 1099 for any instructor who's paid through a grant.
Okay, so is he then a town employee?
No.
He's an independent contractor. He's got to be.
So it's one or the other?
He's one or the other, and
I
there's
see.
not only issues with liability, then you have issues with income tax and FICA and how this person is paid. You have to be extremely careful with those items, because on small levels, you know, if you get audited, there are cases where cities have been audited, and they were calling people independent contractors, and when they analyzed actually what they were doing, they weren't. And then they got hit. I think it was like a $60,000 income tax bill that they had to pay.
Can I ask, Victoria, do you know if we issued 1099s to Heather Holohan, who taught the dance program through a grant similar to the one that Chris is being proposed? How did we handle that?
I don't know off the top of my head. You'd have to ask Marge. She sends out all the 1099s.
Okay.
If they're handled as like a seasonal employee, and they get paid a stipend for doing whatever activity they're doing, then in that sense, I believe that you would be okay under the taxation, and I think you would be okay with your liability. They would have comp and all liability protections under the town, but they're an employee, and you're hiring them for that purpose.
So the backup plan that I had for this young man who's been willing to do this work for us is that I understood from Victoria that we could consider hiring him as our town skateboard instructor. And I don't know what's all involved in that. But that
Actually, it
the
would be
backup plan.
seasonal or temporary.
Like the
Wouldn't be
camp
anything
counselors or?
permanent.
Yeah, a camp counselor would make the most sense, that kind of temporary or seasonal.
Yes, as to the insurance, I asked him if he had investigated what the insurance would cost, and he had indicated that he hadn't. And I said, well,
Who's he?
The skateboard instructor, Chris? Yes.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I've forgotten his name.
Okay.
And he indicated that he hadn't really gotten any quotes, but he thought that it would be expensive. And I said, well, let's get some quotes. Let's see what it actually costs. Because there's a lot of organizations out there for youth activities like this. Like I know, for instance, there's USA Gymnastics, there's USA Wrestling, where they have insurance programs just for this type of setup, where you can get insurance. And I do believe there is a USA Skateboarding organization. So he might be able to do a little. It may not cost him what he thinks. I don't know, but I also don't have any quotes, and he never responded to the quote or the request for a quote. It might be something the board might want to consider, or just you can hire him as a seasonal or temp employee to perform the skateboarding class.
There is a USA Skateboarding Association. As a matter of fact, I think they're in the Olympic Games this year.
Yeah, most
First time.
Usually that's how like all the Olympic-oriented sports have some sort of USA, whatever the sport is, to help promote the youth.
So they
teaching and
might
coaching.
extend insurance, national insurance, to an individual who's signed up for their program, which is a cost, no doubt.
Yeah, but it's a nominal cost. Like, as I recall, well,
A couple hundred, I would think.
it's well,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I know from my own experience through USA Wrestling, there was it was like $30 per athlete to get the card. And you walk into it, as long as you have the USA Wrestling card, then you could actually you'd be covered in the programs. Now, how that would work, with the municipality, I don't know. That was always private. I haven't looked into that, but it's
So-
certainly worth investigating through USA Skateboarding or whatever organization, or just get any quotes, just to see what the cost actually is. We're operating from an unknown, and I think it would be a benefit to the board to know exactly what it looks like.
So I will
the
withdraw
insurance.
my motion and investigate what the cost would be for him. I mean, theoretically, I'm sure Berkshire Taconic would be fine with him using a portion of his stipend, asking the town board to change the terms of what he applied for and make sure if it's a couple of $100s out of his 2,000 some odd dollar stipend, then we could maybe have his insurance, have him get him insured and have him be listed as an additional insured on our policy.
That is my understanding of how Byron has recommended it to the town.
I didn't see that in writing anywhere.
I'm sorry, but why would we just not hire him like a camp counselor to do this? Why go through all that?
That's a good question.
We've been talking about this for like 3 months, summer's almost over. So when does the grant money go away? I think there's
I'm going to be talking to somebody tomorrow, so they have often been very good about extending it, but they don't, it's
They need
typically
a report
1
in
year.
October.
Okay, and how much was the grant for?
A couple of $1,000s, 2,500 in round numbers, as I recall.
It was Berkshire Taconic, right?
Yeah. I don't remember getting a copy of it,
I'm
but maybe we
pulling it
did.
up.
What was,
I sent you a
missed the
copy
question.
of it because I
Yeah.
got it from him.
I think it was 2,300.
2,300?
2,500 according to Vicky's email. Hold on, Victoria Prada. All right, here I got it. Bridging, divide. Say again?
Yeah, because I sent you a copy of it
amount was
because I had to get it from him.
2,500.
2,500, okay.
All right, so I will make a motion that we hire Christopher May as a seasonal employee to staff the Rec Commission-sponsored town skateboarding program here, to be held here at Amenia Town Hall for a stipend of $2,500. And there's reporting requirements, right? So also part of my motion is that he attend to both the questions for our insurance, this is contingent, that he attend to the questions from our insurance company as well as filing all the necessary paperwork for Berkshire Taconic. Sorry?
You were good up to 2,500.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's the motion, and it's contingent upon two things: that he answer the questions of our insurance broker, and that he file all the necessary paperwork with Berkshire Taconic for grant administration.
And I'll forward you that email with the latest questions from Byron to Chris.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Discussion, Ian, are you comfortable with that?
As far as the tax portion of that, I'd be comfortable with. I don't know if he's actually done his background checks. I know there was,
He
Yes, he
provided
has.
his
okay, so that's all done.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he complies then with all the requirements of a seasonal employee, then
We just need to,
I think it would be fine.
yeah, we just need to do the paperwork for county personnel. for
He's
seasonal.
a teacher at local private school. I think he's probably passed all those background checks.
Well, we require it for our records.
Sure.
And we already did it, so he's fine.
Great. Roll.
Supervisor Karati,
Yes.
I want to make sure she's... Councilpersons Doyle.
Yes.
Gutierrez.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
Limoji. Motion carries.
Okay, then on with my report. I attended a recreation meeting on the 8th of July. I think there was quite a bit of discussion about how we could get the Little League underway, and it appears that we need to form a 501c3 in order to do
No,
that.
you need a board of directors first.
Well, that's part of a board of a 501c3. You have to get a board of, and your bylaws, and that is a lengthy process, and that we no longer are part of the Connecticut League that we have been in the past. It's called the Taconic League. I was wondering if there was go
It's
ahead.
not Connecticut.
They had said Connecticut, but you're right, it's not technically Connecticut. I had written that
No,
down on my
it's,
notes.
Mile
It's
End.
Taconic, it's,
And they haven't removed us, to my knowledge.
I understood that.
They were going to remove
not
us if we
eligible.
moved to another league, and that never happened.
Oh, so we're still eligible
Yeah,
for that
we're
one?
still in that one.
Okay. Was there an ambulance meeting yesterday, was a question. I had something in my calendar. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that until after the fact. Attended a Hudson River Housing's Community Land Trust information session yesterday, and they were asking people from this Northeast Dutchess area to recommend somebody for their Community Land Trust Advisory Committee. If you're interested in serving in all of Dutchess County, they're looking for 3 to 5 people who are willing to volunteer their time to help advise them on affordable housing opportunities. And we're looking particularly for people who have direct experience with housing insecurities. Please give me a call, 845-489-7826. If you or you know of somebody who is knowledgeable about the needs in our Northeast Dutchess region and representing us on this Dutchess County wide effort. It's under the Hudson River Housing's umbrella, and you can participate either by virtually, or you can go to their meetings in Poughkeepsie. There's a CAC meeting on Wednesday, July 21st at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, and don't have an agenda yet, but I think on the agenda we'll be considering a bill that's before Congress called Saving America's Pollinators Act, and it's an effort to sorry, it's not an effort. If it passes, it would require the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, to establish a pollinator protection board to develop an independent review process for pesticides that pose a threat to pollinators and their habitats. There's an exhibition in Salisbury that the Housatonic Valley Association put together. It's called Birds in Crisis. It's asking why are so many birds disappearing and why we should care, and what you can do in your backyard to help. It's it's Birds in Crisis at Academy Building, Main Street in Salisbury. It's Tuesday through Saturday mornings and some Saturday afternoons. And you can call Academy Building at 860-435-0566 to find out their hours. Thank you.
I think, going back to skateboarding, I think we need to talk about the ramps and equipment. What do you were following up on that?
Yeah, I found an email that did talk specifically about ramps and the added insurance that would be required. It's an additional cost to the town of, I think it was in the 500. Anyway, I do have that. And I just don't think we're ready yet to build a skate park and take on additional annual costs for maintaining the insurance. My recommendation is that Chris, if he wants to personally, I don't know what it would take if he personally wanted to take these ramps and for himself to keep them in safeguarding until we have a budget and a plan that would call for a skateboard park. We're just too.
But we haven't accepted them.
Can I just give a little background just so?
Yeah.
So is it the Village of Millerton or the Town of Northeast? Who is it?
I don't know.
I
Vicki,
think it's the
did,
village.
I think it's the Village of Millerton. They have a number of ramps that used to be set up at their park up there. They're redoing their park, and so they are getting
Right.
rid of those ramps, and they had offered to donate them to the town of Amenia. I have no idea what condition those ramps are in, and obviously, if we were to thinking about putting them in service, we should have them inspected by somebody who can assure us that they're safe and in good condition. But Vicki, I agree with you. I think we haven't considered anywhere to put them. I don't even know how big they are. We don't know what condition they're in. The only thing, just because, I don't know what sort of space Chris has in his backyard if he wanted to accept them personally. If we did have a place to stash them, we could accept the donation, but just put them somewhere until a later time. And I don't know, do you have room in the yard somewhere in a corner?
well, I don't know if we want to accept them if we're not going to go ahead and do it. I mean, why don't you just talk to him about it and see if he wants them?
Yeah, I can. And I agree with you. We shouldn't do that, but if they're
Rather
going
than us
to,
taking them and not having any plan in place.
if they're going to
He
be,
may want them.
sure.
Maybe
we
I
can
missed
talk.
this, but why is Millerton getting rid of them?
They're redoing their park. They're building a new skate park. And
Okay.
They're
redoing
building
their
a whole new park.
Yeah.
All right,
They're just starting phase one.
okay.
Are there any other town board comments?
The only things I have are on seniors. Not my microphone here, sorry, everyone. The Amenia Seniors Picnic is on Saturday, July 31st. And as you know, it's a pickup, and you need a ticket to get it. If you haven't asked me for a ticket as yet, I have tickets left, and I will be here in the Amenia Town Hall on Tuesday, July 20th, 21, from 10:30 to approximately 1 o'clock, and on Thursday, July 22nd, 21, at the Tally Ho Clubhouse, if you're looking for your tickets. There's a few that are still left. And I'm going to reiterate that if you are a homebound person and you can't get out to pick up the meal yourself, you can have someone pick it up for you. If you live in the town of Amenia, we have volunteers who will be able to deliver you your meal, but you have to let me know that who you are and where you are and what you need, okay? You'll be able to pick up your meals at the Amenia Firehouse if your residence is close to the Amenia Firehouse. If your resident is closest to Tally Ho Estates, you may pick up your meals down at the clubhouse. And those people that I've already sent tickets to, I think I've already told you where your location is. I have, let me see, I'll let you know. The food is prepared by the Amenia Fire Company. The water is compliments of Fresh Town of Amenia. And someone donated us two choose boxes of chips, so you'll be getting chips also. The most important thing I have to tell you is that you must come down and pick up your meal yourself or have someone pick it up for you. We do have volunteers. We have volunteers in Tally Ho because we have 100 homes there. So we have volunteers who've said, I will pick up so many for my friends and neighbors in this area. And right now I've got about 9 volunteers in Tally Ho doing it. And we have 2 up in Amenia because we have fewer people from Amenia saying they want their meals delivered. The reason people are volunteering Tally Ho to pick up meals and deliver them is because it's less congestive to have one person or 2 people come down and say, I'm picking up 6 meals, and I know who they are, and we give them the 6 meals. Makes it less congested for us down in Tally Ho. If it was the reverse, and most of the meals were in the Amenia Firehouse, there's no problem because it's a huge, huge area and we could pick them up. But I want to encourage you that if you haven't called, please call. We'll get you a meal. We want to do that for you. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful meal. It truly is. Because we want to get out and do things. I know everyone wants to get out and do things. Now, the Lake George trip, ladies and gentlemen, it's closed. I have a waiting list of 10 people who would like to go on this trip, but I don't have a bus that holds 10 more people. So what I'm saying to you, if you are one of the few people who still have not sent me your check or have not called me, you best call me by tomorrow, Monday the latest, or your seats are going to the people who are waiting on the list.
How many do you have signed up?
50.
50?
It's 50. The bus is filled, and with the seats and stuff, everybody has said they wanted it. But there are some people who still haven't given me their money, for whatever their reason is. It's understandable. But you must tell me the sincere thing that you want to do. I'm not trying to be difficult. I want you all to go. But I need to turn the money into Marge, our bookkeeper. She has to put it in the bank, write the check, and send it to the Lake George Boat Company for our trip. And we have to get it there by a deadline. And the deadline is very close. Okay? Another thing I just want to tell you, because of this COVID stuff that's still going around. If you have a COVID card because you've had your vaccine, please bring it with you, okay? Because I'm not certain about what the boat company is going to do. I'm not certain if they're going to check temperatures when you get on the boat. I don't know what their protocol is exactly. They say everything's going to be fine, everything's going to be good. But you know, if you have it, please bring it with you, okay? We don't want you to get up there and all of a sudden you can't get on the boat, okay? So we're doing that with everybody. We're asking everybody to please let us know what your situation is. I know that might be a little bit annoying to some folks, but the bus is holding 50 people. The boat, our numbers for the boat are 50. So I have to adhere to whatever the rules and regulations are. They may not be those regulations when we go in August, on August 18th. But we all know everything changes, flexes, and moves, okay? So I'm just advising you of that, okay? Because I want this to be a great trip for us out. I am looking into other trips for us. I'm already getting things from other places for next year. They're already sending me this is my next year's schedule. They have a lot of high hopes for things. So I hope that we will get things going for next year. And that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm just wishing you all the very best and stay cool and stay safe. Thank you.
Are there any other town board comments? If not, then I make a motion to go into executive session for personnel matters and Altice contract negotiations, and the town clerk is excused.
Second?
Victoria, do you want to add the litigation matter as well?
Okay, and
Can
litigation, I'm sorry, and litigation matters. And
I second
second.
Supervisor Perotti?
Yes.
Councilpersons Doyle?
Yes.
Gutierrez?
Yes.
Morris?
Yes.
Samoji?
Yes.